nod. Head nod.
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's the 410 Head Nod, y'all. And we've come to the interview portion of our show. We have some special guests in the room. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to go from there.
What up, y'all? It's M.I., Mr. Impossible, the Mike's Illest.
What up, y'all? It's Rome, R.O.
And you guys just got into town a couple weeks ago from overseas, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Switzerland.
So now, how did that come about? If you could bring some detail into that.
All right, well, basically, you know, we've been in the game for a while now. I guess we'll go through all of that through the interview, so I won't wrap all of that up now. But we've been doing music since the 90s. And like in around 08, we started realizing one of the members of Global Platoon, One Speaker Supreme, was big on checking the internet out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't really paying much attention. He was like, look, man, there's a lot of collectors looking for y'all records and this and that. So we started like releasing unreleased stuff and then re-releasing stuff that was real hard to get from Baltimore, and we started linking up with a lot of cats overseas that you know that collect, and you know and over there they still live in the culture a little more. So it's like they still doing shows, they still writing graffiti out, like they still doing it's like the 90s over there when you go there. So we hooked up with these cats, SWC from Switzerland, and we started working with them a little while ago, and then I just did a project with them called Swiss Banks that we just did an independent movie for as well. Yeah, and we went over there and premiered it and did a show over there. We got, you know, Rome is in the movie, I'm in the movie, a couple other cats. My man Jay Powell did the movie. It's off the hook.
Okay, now we got with the current stuff, so now I'm going to rewind to the beginning of time. So how did you come across One with your name, and what was your influences that came up with that name?
M.I.?
M.I.
Alright, you know, man, I've been running with M.I. It started out M.I.C., and it was the Mike's Illest Controller. And it was just, you know, when I was young, I was like one of them young battle rapper, aggressive rappers, so it was like, I'm going to just go M.I.C., Mike's Illest Controller, gave it a little acronym, you know what I'm saying? And then over the years, it just became M.I., and then like in like 05, a homeboy of mine just started calling me Mr. Impossible. Like, he thought that's what it stood for. Like, he didn't even really think that, because everybody was already calling me M.I. by that point. So then that name kind of stuck right there. So it's like, you know, I still go with the Mike's Illest, no doubt, because that's the original name. But, you know, it kind of grew as I grew.
As you grew.
You know what I'm saying?
So, Rome, where's that come from?
That's my name.
I mean, they don't know.
Well, I'm just like a loner, so I roam around everywhere. So you'll see me everywhere. So I just took it on Rome. And, you know, when I got to Baltimore, they just how could I say it? The Baltimore draw didn't say Jerome right.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely, if you're from Baltimore, you'll understand that fully.
When I told them my name was Rome, they would call me Romy, and I didn't like that, so I shortened it off to R.O.
Okay. So you have a DJ as well, right?
Yeah, DJ Cut.
DJ Cut. So how did you guys link up?
Like, I say in like 92, around 92, a friend of mine was going to school upstate New York. And I used to go up there, like, just when I was younger, like, I would leave Baltimore at any given moment. Like, any chance I got, like a long weekend, a vacation from school, break from school, summer, whatever, I was out. So a friend of mine went to school in SUNY Purchase, like right outside, like Westchester County.
Yeah, I went to college on that.
Oh, okay, yeah. A friend of mine went to SUNY Purchase, so we started going up there, like me, Supreme. I think Rome, you came up with us maybe once. A bunch of us, like, that used to go up there and just go rap at parties and stuff like that when he went there and perform at their little events and stuff. DJ Cut was a friend with his friend that went up there, and he used to go up there and DJ parties. So he would be DJing parties that we would go up and rap at. And then the dude that we mutually knew, he went to school in the music program. So they had a studio there. We kind of just started working, and the vibe was crazy. He was like, yo, man, I want to start making beats. So he went to AIR and became an audio engineer and got equipment and learned how to do it all. And then he got a job at a studio, and then we just started banging. Then in '95, I moved to Jersey.
Right.
And I was just there. Like, that was it. Like, I was just there. We did it nonstop. So.
Okay. So then that's when Constant Deviance.
Yeah, that's when that came about.
That came about.
Yeah.
And
92, 93.
1993 back then. Now, Launchpad, my memories, just because I'm from Baltimore, so all y'all don't know, you should know. My memories of Launchpad don't extend far back because I came around the scene in 01, but I was a fan of the scene in 97. But I remember the studio that was on
Park Ave.
Yeah. And then the one that was by the club.
That was later.
The
Real Rain. Rain was on Park Ave.
Okay, see, I missed the Park Ave days.
That's when we had the store and all that. We had the record store, Indie, the hip hop shop downstairs, and all that.
So you were recording material, Rome, back then in the days, and actually put out.
I was original. I was one of the first to record.
One of the first. Okay. Expand on that. Like, how was that experience back in those days in Baltimore? Who else was making moves or recording during them times?
It was a lot. Around that time, it was just me, Changa, and M. And M was in Jersey, so we used to wait for him to come back with new shit.
I mean, that was just in our crew. Like, if Baltimore was popping back then. You had Annex Click, you had Crooked Streets, you had. I can't even think of a name. At J Funk, his whole team, New Testament. I remember a lot of people. Lab Tech 1, of course. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of people still to this day. Like, they still do music, they still doing their thing. They were doing it then. We all kind of ran like together, but then everybody ran with their little crew. Launchpad was like, that was DJ Rocket. He was like all of our DJs.
Okay.
Start off with, like, and then he just started the company via his mixtapes and stuff, and then opened up a studio, and then it just like it kind of grew from there.
Okay. So then, as time goes by, how did you get deeply involved in the game? How did your first deal come about?
The first deal Constant Deviance got was on Vestry Records in '96. We put out Competition Catch Speed Knots, and that was basically, there was an independent record label upstairs from the studio that Cut worked at in the city. He worked at a studio off of Canal Street in the city, and that's Competition Catch Speed Knots. We recorded that in '96, and put that out on Vestry Records. He just played it for one of the dudes that worked for the label, and they were like, "Wow, that's hot." They wanted to get into hip hop. They were more like a dance label.
Right.
They had distribution via Strictly Rhythm. Like, if you look on that record, that was distributed by Strictly Rhythm, which is like anybody's DJ that DJ'd house music knows. Like, Strictly Rhythm was like a big house distributor.
Right.
But they didn't get it in the right stores because they didn't have the right connects to get it to them little indie hip hop stores. So it was a tough, it was kind of a weird deal.
So then, I've been doing some digging and research on you as an artist. There's a record that was supposed to or was going to come out featuring Rick Ross and Nori.
Yeah.
Can you explain how that even came about and what happened?
I mean, that's just like the long story. Like, the short story of that is like, basically, I got a deal with Arista Records in 01 with Mark Pitts, and that's right when he first went up to Arista, and it was kind of funny. Started working heavy with Usher and TLC, and there was a lot of records that he was A&Ring. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't really have the time to really invest into a project. And L.A. Reid doesn't really like rappers that aren't from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So he just took over Arista, so he was kind of fronting on the project a little bit. So Mark was basically like, yo, M, man, you could do this shit on your own, but you got to go do it. You got to get the B, and I'll get you the Z. But you got to get the B on your own, So that's when, we started trying to do a little independent thing. And his assistant, Just B, was me and him had a good connection, just because we used to work together a lot with Mark. and a dude he knew was co-managing Rick Ross at the time. So I did the song Yup, and it was a solo joint, and it was about Baltimore, like. So I was like, you know what, let me try to do something with this record. I'm going to put somebody from New York on it, and then I'm going to put somebody from down south on it. And initially I wanted to put Jeezy on it because he was hot right around that time. And I was trying to get at him, and my man was like, yo, I could get that cat Rick Ross. He had just dropped Hustlin'. He was like, I could get the cat Rick Ross probably for cheap, like, he's, you know what I'm saying, boom, he's just starting to do remixes now, like, and I was like, all right, see what happens. So we got it, we went to Atlanta, we did the joint with Rick Ross, came back, you know, I'm not going to expose the company's name, but we hired a company to do, they ended up being a pretty big, you know, like, music, like email distribution company, like one of them promotional companies, you know what I'm saying, and we hired them to do it, and somehow via text, MI got mistaken for M1, and they put it out when they did the blast. They put it out as M1, and people were dissing like, your homeboy need to get his own name and and this and that, and you know, it was bad timing right there. That joint in the background, that's Helpless right there. That's gonna be on Rome's Cuts.
Right?
Yeah, that's the new Rome LP. It's gonna be a 9-song LP. We're probably gonna drop that right at the top of the year. It's all Rome and DJ Cut.
Hold on, let's get to listen to a little bit of a sound bite of what's up to come there. We got this exclusive in our pocket. Hold on, y'all. This is 14 here now. Y'all tune into this track right here, Helpless by Rome.
They say let it go, try to help it live. All about you need oxygen in these tenements. Where 40 Cali shells cut butter through the center bricks. See the planes and helicopters. See the tents and triage doctors. They might say they here to help us, but we helpless. In the middle of forecast, broke with no cash. Blame it on the rain, no dough, get no ass. V12 lungs, the way we blow gas. Chick home waiting on me looking like Lopez. No kids, wife beat the boy shorts and pro kids. She said she beef with a man, he in the coke biz. And the money ain't coming right. So hot, he can even see the sun at night. And I can feel his pain. Struggle getting harder than the heroin vein. Hero never came, mama still home crying. Peas in the pot and the chicken deep frying. And who's thinking like I am? I'm on the top of the mountain like Zion, waiting for the war to pop off. And y'all thirsty, waiting for the war to drop off. See the planes and the helicopters. See the tents and the triage doctors. They say they wanna help us, but we helpless. See the planes and the helicopters. All the tents and the triage.
Helpless. Okay. I'm feeling that right there, man. It's definitely. Now, see, my thing is, when it comes to you,